Hey, yeah, what's up? This is Disciple Marcello Currents Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day. You know, I'm rock with America. You know that already. All right, so this video is going to be about basically um, the weapon of choice that America uses. When I say America, I mean these hidden dark patriots, these hidden secret societies, these people that are paid off to do certain things. We're talking about all of them. Their weapons of choice are uh, mind games, psychological mind games. That's their weapons of choice. For all you Christians, be on um, high alert, but don't get anxiety. Don't be mentally crippled by it. Don't be crippled at all by their efforts. But their whole methods I've studied and watched. It's nothing. It's a lot of mind technologies, whether it be spiritual or tangible. It's all about mind technologies, mind weapons, whether they be spiritual or tangible. They're using a whole bunch of mind technologies and weapons and all type of mind weaponry strategies. So be aware of that. You know, I've been aware of it. I've mastered it now. You know, I know everything that um, basically does not feel like my thoughts are them. Anything that is something I'm not thinking about, that's them. They send images of children to the people's minds. They send all type of perverted images, feces, urine, all type the most filthy of images. They will send to the minds of um, Christians and spiritual people. They'll send images of your own family, nude and incest images, um, bestiality, anything to throw your mind off and to assassinate your character. Ultimately, their ultimate goal is to try to make you suicidal. That's the ultimate goal. So I'm just pre-warning you what the ultimate goal is. And so you as a Christian, you know that if you commit suicide, you would go to hell. So that's why you're never going to come to that point. Someone else may, and I feel sorry for people that are not Christians that are going through the onslaught of these mind technologies. Um, I feel sorry for them because they may want to commit suicide. Us as Christians, it's never going to happen because we are well aware that that's hell. You know, that's eternal fire. So that's never going to happen with most bona fide Christians. It's never going to happen. Okay. But be aware and don't feel. And here's the thing: don't feel guilty about the things they send. They'll send celebrities, children, all type of anybody that you're connected to. They'll send their children, your own family's children. All pedophilia is one of the big weaponries they use with mind technologies. That's one of their bullets, if you will, with this mind technology that they use. They shoot this over and over in your head so that you will feel like a pedophile. You know, I know everything that they do. You know, so be aware, brothers and sisters, that are my true Christians. Be aware, it's not you. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like something is wrong with you. It's nothing wrong with you. By the Holy Spirit, God has already showed me what it is. You know, these people are um, witches and warlocks, telepaths and psychics with mutated gifts. That's what I call it. They're basically the closest thing to mutants, and they have spiritual gifts to project certain thoughts and to read your thoughts and to watch your thoughts. So those are they're the closest thing to mutants. what we have is the rise of the mutants, and you have to be aware of that. They'll be at stores. They'll be in your in wherever you sleep at, lay at, everything. So once you're aware, I mean, you already win because you got the upper hand. Knowing it's half the battle. You know, then you can fight with with the other being the other half of the battle. So um, don't feel apprehensive. Don't get it bent out of shape. You know, me, I'm a general. I'm a seasoned warrior in this psychological war. They've been doing this against me, like in California, Florida, and so I've been on the streets with it. I've been homeless going through it. So to me, like me going through it is maybe different from you. You may be new to it and it may be bugging you out, but all you have to know is that your thoughts, know yourself basically. Get in tune with yourself. Go on a good fast. Go back to who you were before this season and time. That's going to help you too a lot. Go back before this time. Kind of forget this time at times. Because all this is just a big mess now in America. In America, this is all just a big mess. So go before this big mess happened, and go back to times where you things that you wrote. See your thought patterns before this time, and you'll be convinced. Look at videos before this time, years ago, and you'll be convinced that it's not you, it's the enemy. It's their strategy. It's the American government is, I believe, is well aware of what is going on. I believe they have detention centers here where they punish people um, for being basically, in essence, what they feel anti-America. So being a Christian here is basically anti-America right now, because we're against homosexuality, lesbianism, all that kind of thing, and just most things that are in American culture. So they will target you because you're not a part of it. But do not lift them up more than they deserve to be lifted up. They're defeated foes. They're easy to defeat. They're easy to, long as you understand your weapons. One of your greatest weapons is fasting, spiritual fasting. Um, I'm going to get more into the warfare of fasting, giving to great ministries, special, unique ministries too. I like to give to unique ministries as well, ones I find on YouTube. Also, give to massive ministries that have big outreaches too. That will really be effective in your personal spiritual warfare. You have to use your weapons, and one of the main ones is fasting. Fasting is going to do things that they can't defeat, they can't track, they can't beat, and it's going to just bring amazing results that you know that is just just over their heads. Miracles, things coming out of nowhere, money coming out of nowhere, things working out of nowhere. Fasting is going to do all of that. They can't really track that as much as prayer. They can watch your prayers, praying in the spirit as well for extended time. Praying in the Holy Ghost is going to be very effective. We have to be just as powerful as the real greats of the dark side, like Marie Laveau, like her, Dr. Buzzard. Those were very high ranking people in witchcraft. And most of the people now, they're not very high ranking. They just are able to read thoughts and things like that. To me, that's really nothing but someone that is able to read the a certain organ of the human body. It's all about what you manifest. But we're going to be, I want to insinuate always in my messages to be as powerful, spiritually powerful through Christ as like those on the other side, like Dr. Buzzard, Marie Laveau. Those people were those that witch and that warlock were very, very powerful, and I think what we have here now are like fast food witches and fast food warlocks. They're not nearly the caliber of old school witches and old school warlocks. So that being said, they don't have the disciplines, in they don't. So you don't have to worry. Like it's not to me, it's not really high ranking witches and warlocks. It's just people that look to aggravate and frustrate any way they can. So that's what you got to consider. Now, on our side, I'm manifesting. You know what I'm saying? I'm manifesting big time here in New York City. I'm manifesting in major ways, very powerful retaliations through Christ against the enemy, against the kingdom of darkness. I'm taking no prisoners. I'm giving no mercy. This is not a time to be a care bear. All of a sudden people want to, make up and draw you a tulip on a page and want to be friends. You can't start war and then midway try to be friends. We all have to reap what we sow. We all have to pay for what we do, and that's the only way it feels right, is for people to pay for what they do. It's not going to feel right making up or being in alliance or looking in the face of people that wronged you. Unfortunately, that doesn't do it for everybody. That's why God knows me. He knows me personally. And it's not going to do it for me for you to get off the handle for doing things that you've done wrong. I want you to reap what you sow like everyone else. In other words, I want justice. I want people to pay for what they do. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with feeling like people should pay for what they do. We all have to. We all have to pay for what we do. And the people that are being used to play these mind games, they're no different. We're not letting they're not above the law. They're not above what is right and wrong. They got to pay just like everybody else. And to me, they're nobodies. They're not high ranking as they think they are. They have appealed to the masses of people that are not really in spirituality. They have impressed people outside of spirituality. People like me that rank as high as I do, I'm going to look at what you actually manifest. And if you can only read minds and you're basically psychic like, that's not going to impress someone like me when I see things that actually take place. I see things that actually happen, for my life. I see things that actually come into fruition and actually manifest. You're not going to impress overall someone like me. Because on our side, we have lasting results that everyone can see. We can point to what God is doing for us. We can point to what is manifesting from our kingdom. And to me, that's more impressive than the intermingling with human beings and reading minds and intermingling with someone's brain and intermingling with someone's nah. See, I'm able to do all of that because the Holy Spirit is with me. He's able to it's just like the dark side has lightsabers. The light side has lightsabers. We have lightsabers too. So I'm able to tap into what the enemy is saying. I'm able to tap into what the enemy is doing, and sometimes that would make them feel that I'm on their side. I'm like a part of them. I'm not a part of you. I just am able to go to any level that you're on. I'm able to go to the highest levels, you know. So I just think that this world has not seen Christians like us now. They thought that Christians were uh, just another religious people that really haven't tapped into spirituality. And now you run into the likes of me and the likes of other people that are very high ranking spiritually, and you see things manifest. And now it's like, they're like, OMG, we're in trouble. Yes, you are in trouble. Because I'm not the type of Christian that's going to sit back and let you violate my perimeters, my spiritual perimeters. As long as you're encroaching on my spiritual perimeters, my tangible perimeters, I have rights to make you pay for that. So, and that's what I'm going to do. So nothing's free. And that's what you have to do too as a spiritual authority. You have to set uh, spiritual legal motions in place to where if someone is encroaching spiritually on beyond your perimeters, basically where you draw lines in the sand, if they encroach on that, you have to hold them spiritually liable. Okay? To where if they're here for 24 hours, if they're here for 47 hours, 48 hours, they're here for 52 hours, however long they're here, that whole spiritual encroachment, they're going to be spiritually liable for however long they were here. So if you're here for months, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for all of that. You're going to be spiritually liable. In other words, you're giving your enemies a spiritual bill. And they're stupid. They don't realize. Okay, just like a dumb person that goes to somewhere and charge their card and they don't realize they got to pay for all of this that they're doing, all this time or something they was doing, and they think, oh man, that whole time I was being billed. Yes, that whole time you was being billed. That's why you look at your country, you look at everything that's going on. It's all coming back to your environment. Because what I learned in this season, spiritually speaking, Christians pay attention. God God is making sure that these people they're getting all of the the whole repercussion of of what. Okay, so you have to pay attention to the environment. God is attacking the environment of America. And at first, I never say nothing because I never mouth back at the Lord. I'm not one of those Christians that get angry with God. I've never gotten seriously angry with God. I am one of his darlings. I am one of God's sweethearts. I don't get angry with God. For people that have, that's you. That's your walk with God. I just never have. I've just used a more mature understanding. So I've never been that type of Christian that think it's cute to get angry with God. I don't think it's cute at all. I think it's you lacking a sense of understanding on God or being elevated. So when I don't understand something, I just go through it. And then I understand. It happens where now I understand. So what I've noticed is with these gang stalkers, these monitoring people, what God is doing is he's not zapping them as we would wish. He's not giving them heart attacks and striking their health as we would wish. He's attacking the environment. And he showed me that, and I understood it, because ultimately that's going to leave them with nothing. Think about it. While we're wishing that they just drop dead, which would be quite delicious, it's better for the environment, even as a military strategist, it's better for the environment to be attacked, because that takes everything from them. It takes the food, it takes the water, you basically starve them out, you smoke them out, basically. So now I get it, and now I see why God is choosing to do it that way, because who know if let's just say, for example, if particular people are attacked, right, for like that are a problem to you, right? What about the backup people that they have? What about the other groups of people that they're in alliance with? What about the people that's on standby? You don't have any idea how many standby people they have, or how many other groups or chapters of their group that they have in store. Besides the Pacific people and individual people that are attacking you, they may have another chapter in another city that comes here and does the same thing. Another chapter of whatever group may come and do the same thing that they're doing to you now. It's a whole nother set of people. So I now understand why God attacked just the whole country, because it's going to handle all the chapters, it's going to handle all the people, and it's going to be over. But see, what they expected was, and a lot of us sometimes in our feelings, we expect for them to be zapped, so to speak. Just zap them dead, strike them down with some disease, give them a heart attack, just let them die. But then I understood the romance behind this war. In every, well, I say in every spiritual war that God is over, one as big as this, there's a romance to it. And so in romance, you understand that everything is done set this way, set that way. And it's released in a certain way, with ease, with grace. And so God is romancing in this warfare. He's going through it with ease. He's letting them look at their environment. They got COVID everywhere. They got monkeypox everywhere. They got gas prices. It's just unfolding one thing after the other instead of one big boom. And we're still standing as Christians. We're still standing here. And we're still standing in faith, which is part of the romance. We're still believing God. We're still trusting Him, which is part of the romance. And we're romancing the enemy. They wanted war, and so we're romancing them. We're showing them the art of war, the real art of war. And we're romancing them, and they're not paying attention. They're morons. The ones that I'm facing are morons. Because in essence, we're romancing them. We have beyond the upper hand. We're beyond the upper hand. Are you kidding me? We're taking over. They got COVID-19, which they secretly acknowledge, but they don't openly acknowledge to us. It's a plague from God. I'm just going to be 100. I don't care how people feel about it. It's a plague from God for these people that play games. So now you got COVID-19, you got monkeypox. Don't you see? They're all plagues from God for people playing games, and it's tearing up their environment, and we're romancing them in this warfare. And if you think this is bad, Just wait till this time next year. Wait till they come out of the next winter that's ahead, and and we come to the next summer of 2023. Wait till you see summer 2023, because every month is a new season. If it was a sequel, you know how you have the seasons and you got each episode. Every month is almost like a season. Not half a year. Every month is almost a season. And the more time goes by, each each month is going to be more bigger and more stretched out and longer. Every month is going to be more dramatic. Watch, you'll see. Every months are going to feel like 3 months. 1 month gonna feel like 3 months. They barked up. I don't know what they were thinking, but see, now it's becoming surreal to them. Like, man, this is really real, and this is really happening to us. I know they're feeling this feeling because it looks surreal to all of it is surreal to me. So I know it's surreal to them. Look up the word surreal. Like just like even if you know what it means, just look up the definition and think about it. Think about that word surreal. It's becoming surreal to these people. It's real, but it's a sense of, is it real for real? It's just like it's this euphoria over it. Almost. It's like it's like fiction meets reality almost. And they're experiencing this because God has attacked them so hard, glory to his name, that it's surreal to them, and they have what I call the Taylor Swift mouth. They got the Taylor Swift mouth. You remember when Kanye West took the microphone from her, and she was like, they're still like that. They've been like that for the past 2 years since COVID came. They can't believe that God actually responded. They can't believe that God is real. And now you know. And now you got monkeypox. And now you got different variants of COVID-19. You know, this is what God is romancing you as far as spiritual warfare. So while you driving by, riding around, trying to save face, which is not going to work. I mean, we've already romanced you quite heavily. I mean, you're not going to do something greater than COVID-19. That's the big bang. That's the big guns. It's nothing that's going to impact the whole world and culture like that did. You know what I'm saying? So that's a means to an end right there. If we're talking about war, you lost already. But you, as Christians, you have to acknowledge that this is a plague from God. They're not going to acknowledge that. This is your side attacking them. So imagine them acknowledging it down to the T for how it really is. You have to acknowledge it down to the T for what it really is. And it is a plague from God, sent by God. And I can't speak for any other country, but it's sent to America for sure. It's sent for them for sure. They played too many games. And God was not feeling that, and he did something about it. And then you seen their attitude during COVID. So now more is happening because God looks at that. Look at how these people act when they're dying. They're still crazy. They still have no compassion. They still lack empathy and apathy. While they think you lack it, they lack it. While they think you're like a serial killer, it's really them. And while they think you're perverted, why they got 44 states married children? So see, all of this is coming out. It's all the romancing and warfare. It's the art of war. Just chill. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. Because we're going through the romancing of warfare, spiritual warfare. And anybody that is standing back watching it, they're the enemy too. Yeah, I know. They try to act like they on your side. They ain't on your no. If you are spectating and speculating, I'm sorry to tell you, you are just as much as the enemy as the actual perpetrators and people that are playing psychological games. You're just as much as the enemy. You got to remember, on our side, there's no such thing as white witches and black witches. Now that's in your world. In your world, you feel like there's people that use their gifts for good and people that use their gifts for evil. We don't feel that way. Us as Christians, we don't feel there's no such thing as a good witch. You're using, your source is not God. The power that you're getting your source from is not God. Therefore, your source has to be from the satanic kingdom, whether you like it or not. Where else is it coming from? There's only two sources of power. So if you're not getting it from God, then obviously you're getting it from the satanic kingdom. That's how we see it. So, that being said, if there's people around me that think you're watching, you got my back, I don't need you to be here. See, what you have to understand is God has been protecting me this whole time. I lived in Los Angeles. I've lived in Florida. I've lived in North Carolina. That's where I'm from. I've lived in New York off and on 10 years. I've lived in East New York. I've lived in Harlem. I've already lived all throughout New York City. I've lived in Staten Island. I've been well protected by God the whole time. The entire time.